Hey everyone, David MacDonald here from Fitness Calgary. We're going to go over your stretch of the week. Stretch of the week is an elevated pigeon stretch. Okay, we're going to go over why the elevation is key and how it can actually enhance the stretch and build more mobility through the hips. So the pigeon normally hits an area called the piriformis. Okay, so that's a muscle that runs right along your hip. Very tight for most people. Most people are very inflexible through the hips and through the piriformis and glutes, and it greatly restricts them when they're doing movements like squats, deadlifts, things like that. The big gain you're going to get from this is you're going to gain obviously more mobility, but the big exercise it's going to help you with is squatting. Okay, for a good squat, you're going to have really good movement through the hips. Okay, because you're going to have to hinge and then you have to drop that hip rate down. So if you're restricted through the hips, what's going to happen is you're going to try to sit down. Your body's going to recognize that you don't have that mobility and you're either going to stop or you're going to have to go back and come forward, tip forward to actually be able to sit down into that full squat. So inadequate hip mobility is going to greatly restrict you on that exercise. Okay, so we're going to go over the elevated pigeon. It's a great stretch. You're going to see massive improvement through the piriformis and through those hips if you incorporate this even 3 or 4 times a week. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a platform. I'm using a bench or a step. You can use whatever you want at home. I'm also putting a mat on here, okay, just to protect my knee. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down on one knee, and I'm going to bring the knee and the lower leg, and I'm going to bring it across this step, okay, to get a good stretch through that piriformis. Alright, so as you can see here, I got my lower leg, and I got my knee on the bench. This leg is just extended behind me, and I'm holding this stretch here. So it's amazing, getting right through that piriformis, through that glute, and you're just going to hold. So for some of you, elevating to this degree might be too much. I'm going to give you guys a couple of options here on what you can do. So option 1, if getting that leg across is too much, you can also bend that knee, and this lessens the intensity of the stretch as opposed to having your knee up here. Alright, so that's option 1. Okay, option 2 is you can lower the platform that you're using. So obviously I can't lower this, but I can grab something else that can elevate me. So what I could do is I could roll up the mat, say 2 or 3 times. Do that one more time. Right, so we've got that mat rolled up. Now I'm going to stretch and hold. Okay, so you can also elevate it using the mat. Right, this elevation allows for a deeper stretch. Okay, it allows for gravity to work down and get that hip open up even more as opposed to if you're just on the floor. So anytime you elevate a stretch like this, you are going to get a more enhanced and deeper stretch through that tissue. So that's the benefit of elevated on the elevated pigeon. Okay, the other option, if you just have no flexibility at all through this area, is you can ditch the mat and the elevation, and you might need to start on the floor. Okay, you could also go into a thread the needle. If you guys have watched our other stretches of the week, okay, we do have thread the needle as one of the stretches on the stretch of the week, so you can look at that video. But you could do a thread the needle or a pigeon on the ground. Okay, phenomenal stretch for getting those hips opened up. You want to hold it for at least 30 seconds. I would say 30 to 60 seconds, 2 to 3 sets aside. Add this in 3 to 4 times a week. It will make a huge difference with your movement, and you'll see a huge difference on exercises like squats. I'm David MacDonald from Fitness Calgary. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon.